Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nottingham, fresh off the back of a huge event in Las Vegas last week. Canelo Alvarez holding on to his undisputed super middleweight world championship against Gennady Golovkin at the T-Mobile. We're here in Nottingham. Of course, an event that was supposed to be headlined by Lee Wood against Maurizio Lara. And it's horrendous when you get that call, especially when you'd sold nearly 9,000 tickets. The card, as we still see, tremendous card from top to bottom. And then all of a sudden you get the text from Ben Davison to let you know that Lee Wood has torn his bicep. At that time, it's a very difficult decision. Obviously, you have to offer refunds. A lot of the tickets come back. The event is not what you first sold it to your broadcaster with on DAZN, but you have a tremendous roster of fighters that have trained and prepared hard to fight, to achieve their dreams, to win world championships, and to get paid. And we all know that boxing is a sport where you only get paid when you fight. And there's a lot of people on these two tables that I didn't quite have the heart to tell them that the fight was no longer happening, because people have worked hard for this opportunity. As I said, people were attempting to achieve their dreams and legacy on Saturday night as well. And we still have a fantastic card, of course, with these two big main event fights as well. The Yorkshire Derby in the lightweight division, Maxi Hughes, I guess no longer the Cinderella man, now the headliner. Exactly, against the former IBF featherweight world champion Kid Galahad as well, and a brilliant female fight as well. Terri Harper bidding to become a two-division world champion against a female fighter that's on a tremendous run, of course, world champion Hannah Rankin as well on this card. So much great young talent that we'll speak to on the table beneath us, of course, live on DAZN around the world this weekend. Rhiannon, we'll start with you. We were joking earlier about Anthony Crolla moaning about the hard work that he's been putting in. You have too, obviously, and a big fight for you on Saturday. Former world champion contender, Adina Kiss, obviously had a very close fight with Cindy Serrano as well, and a big step up in terms of levels for you at the weekend.
Yeah, I know. When he put that tweet out, I was like, get the violins out. I'm the one making weight. You don't even have to make weight anymore. All he's bothered about is his hair. But no, I think it'll be a really good learning fight for me. You know, she's got a lot of experience. She's been in with Amanda Serrano, Michaela Mayer, and, you know, I'm just looking to put on a really good performance this weekend. The
experience for you travelling and fighting abroad was a great one last time out, and, you know, a chance for you to get that experience under your belt as you go through the ranks. But this fight, a step up, and really puts you in a position to move into championship fights in 2023.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that me, Paul and Anne are really looking forward to next year, stepping up and hopefully looking to fight for some titles. So it's just a really exciting time. And I think going over to Spain and dealing with the adversity of that fight, with everything that went on, I think it puts me in good stead.
Looking forward to seeing action on Saturday, as we are with Mohamed Samir as well. Mohamed, opportunity knocks when, unfortunately, Nico Oliveira's had to pull out of the fight with injury as well. Lee Eaton came on. We said we've got a very exciting prospect. It's going to sell bundles of tickets, of which you've done as well. Big opportunity to fight on a big platform at the weekend.
First of all, I'd like to thank yourself and Matchroom for giving me this opportunity. My manager, Lee Eaton, for sorting everything out. Yeah, I literally got the call last Friday, and I got the tickets on Monday evening, and we've already got about 150 sold. So we've got a lot of people coming down on Saturday, and they'll be making a lot of noise. And I've always dreamt of being on cards like this, and yeah, man, it's a dream come true kind of thing. And I'm ready to perform on Saturday night.
What should fans on DAZN be looking out for from you? Obviously, you won't be known to the masses yet, but chance to make a statement. Young man to your left, Janae Boston, who just featured on a show, caught everybody's eye, now signs a pro deal, boxing on all our big shows now, and really the opportunity lies ahead for you as well.
Yeah, 100%. I've got an exciting style. I come to fight, and yeah, man, Saturday night I'm going to show everyone what I'm about.
Look forward to seeing action to the young man to your left, Janae Boston. Watched you last time out. Every now and again you just see a fighter, you think, this kid's special. I mean, I didn't want to tell Grant Smith at the time, but he's been talking about you for such a long period of time. After the fight, he came over and he said, and he was ill in that fight as well. And I thought, blimey, if he was ill in that fight, this kid's got plenty of levels to get to as well. Janae, back in action, quick turnaround now, officially part of the Matchroom Boxing and DAZN team. Been a spring in the step lately, ready to go to work again.
Well, I did warn you, Ed. I did tell you, look, get your pen and paper out, because you'll be signing me after this, and here we are, look, I'm not surprised to be here, but I'm privileged. Look, at the end of the day, I've got big things I'm planning, and I'm going to make the most of this opportunity. And I'm looking on putting a big performance on Saturday and carrying on forward with my career.
I think when you look at a young fighter's development, you've got the two. Obviously you're a good amateur as well, but because of your age as well, didn't go on and progress at the levels of three gentlemen to your left as well, with Cheavon and Cyrus as well. But you look at those guys and know that sometimes you have to do a little bit more to impress people. You're 2-0 now. You have a tough fight against another 2-0 fighter at the weekend, but I know you want to move quickly as well, but still very young in the game and plenty of learning to do.
Well, it'll be 2-1 once I'm done with him, but look, at the end of the day, I'm going to do as I'm told. Grant, S-Jam Boxing, they're all going to look after me. I'm in good hands, so I'm going to make the most of these things, and come Saturday night, I'm going to put on a good performance.
Well, you were fantastic last time. I'm sure you will be on Saturday as well. Cheavon Clarke, talk about the Olympics, talk about the first fight on the road, talk about someone that wants to move quickly as well. A couple of great wins for you so far. Nottingham at the weekend as well, and a very tough fight for you, Chev, as well. Tom Dallas, our matchmaker, has given me plenty of notes of this card as well, and talks about this man giving top 15 world-ranked fighters problems, difficult, extremely tough, and exactly the kind of step up you feel you need.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're not here to hide behind, mediocre fighters. We want to step up and show the people what the excitement's about.
Obviously, domestically, I know you're going to get asked this question a lot, and you talk about how many great fights there are for you at British, Commonwealth, European level from Brits as well. But how far do you feel like you are away from those fights? I know you believe you have the ability to beat those guys now, but just a case of racking the rounds up. You've had a couple of quick performances as well, and just a case of getting in there and making sure that you get the experience under your belt.
Yeah, you need the experience, and I don't come expecting to knock people out, but as and when it comes in the fight, I'll take the opportunity. I'm sure you navigate me as I need to be navigated, and I'll handle it as it comes.
Forward to seeing action on Saturday. Solomon Dakers, one man that's really feels like you're ready to come off the leash and stepping in against any opponent that's really offered to you. I think when I look back now at that Sokolowski fight, that was a fight and such an impressive victory that perhaps you didn't actually get the credit for, that you were willing to take that fight so early in your career, won virtually every round for that fight as well. You must feel like you're right there now, knocking on for championship fights.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, that Sokolowski fight was, for the fights he had after me, he caused problems, so, he was still right amongst it, so it was a good win, but I moved on. My last fight was a tough test as well in July, and I'm just got to stay active, and now moving up to 10 rounders and kicking on to the next level, like you say, just letting me off the leash.
10 rounders quite early in your career as well. I know you coasted through the 8 rounds with Sokolowski as well, but you're going to get to a point where, these certainly British titles, Commonwealth titles are not actually that far away for you, and keeping nice and active as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not trying to hang around too much. I believe, I've got great stamina for a heavyweight. I train very hard. So let's go to the 10 rounders and then push on to the title fights. That's what we're in boxing for, is to win titles. So let's get ready for those titles, and, the next 12 to 18 months, that's when we're going to be knocking on the door for, bigger titles then.
Exciting times for you. We talk about titles. Cyrus Pattinson obviously needed another title fight for this card when Leigh Wood fell through. You've jumped straight up, straight in. First title for you at the weekend. Very, very tough opponent. I see his last victory in his last fight was against, I think, a 22-1 fighter. He had a very controversial loss to Florian Marku as well. This is well beyond the levels you've been boxing at, but feel that you're ready for this challenge.
Definitely, I'm more than happy to step up. First, I just want to express my gratitude for making the fight happen. I know that recently my camps and that haven't been smooth sailing anyway, with fights falling through, and we've had a bit of disappointment as well with the area title. I think we've tried to make that 3 or 4 times now, and that's not happened. So this opportunity came, and I'm a firm believer that the opportunity wouldn't have presented itself if I wasn't ready to receive it. So on Saturday, I'm taking the title.
I guess one of the concerns is that once you make this step against an opponent with this kind of record, there is really nowhere to go backwards. I mean, this is a step well above what you talked about, which was area level. This is a step well above English title level. You know, all of a sudden you start winning intercontinental and regional belts. It's a pretty quick succession. You know, you can't really step back towards 8 rounds again. It's championship fights all the way through for you now.
No, I'm happy with that. I've been sparring 16 rounds in the gym and stuff with 80 kilo, 85 kilo lads, so I know I'm more than capable of it. And all my years in JB, I mean, I'm always prepared to fight anyone. It's just onwards and upwards, and I want to keep pushing on. I don't want to be stuck in that comfort zone for too long, or at all. Really, I want to feel like I'm getting ready to fight. You know what I mean, and be switched on. So, and I think this fight has done that for us.
Good. Well, it's exciting for us to see some of our best young prospects in real tests this Saturday. We go to the top table, 2 brilliant fights, which I can't wait for. So much to talk about, and even as a fan, I've got questions I want to ask. Terri Harper, I see you sitting up there with your chocolate digestives and, you know, smiling. And I said to Kid Galahad earlier about, you know, you're 2 fighters that probably dread the Thursday and Friday of fight week. Back now, 2 divisions higher for Kid Galahad, more than 2 divisions, 3, 4 divisions higher for you as well. Chance to become a 2-division world champion, and certainly you and Steffi were 2 of the fighters that I didn't want to have to tell this fight was off. Relieved to be underway. Huge support coming for you at the weekend, and ready to try and become a 2-division world champion.
Yeah, I'm excited. First time, I'd say this is the first camp. I've really enjoyed it, and not just because of the weight and stuff, it's everything else. And I feel like I've got my chance now to become world champion again, and I'm really hungry for this, and I've got the fire burning, and I know getting the win on the weekend, how many more doors that'll open up. So I'm excited to get out there on Saturday night.
Obviously 24 pounds above your original world championship fight card. I mean, I remember when we put this fight forward for sanction from the British Boxing Board of Control and the WBA, they don't really realise how big you are and how tough that weight was to make. And their first question was, are you sure? You know, is this safe, really? You're moving up so many different divisions. And, you know, Hannah talked about that as well, the dangers of this fight as well. You believe that you're going to have the resilience and the toughness to hang with big, strong 154-pounders. I mean, you've seen Hannah's box, I think, up at super middleweight before as well. That is the disadvantage for you going into this fight, the weight, or do you not see it like that?
I feel like a lot of people don't realise that I walk around naturally at 10, 12, 11 stone. So me cutting down 24 pounds to make the super weight, that was reckless. And I was fighting world-class fighters, underfueled, fatigued and unhappy. So when we got this opportunity to go up so many weight divisions, I just know I feel comfortable at this weight, and I know that I can go in there on Saturday night and handle my own.
Seen a slightly different side to you as well through the face-offs and everything, just building in confidence, and, you know, obviously a few words backwards and forwards, some league sparring footage and stuff like that, but you're holding your own and you're ready for battle with Hannah at the weekend.
Yeah, I've matured as a fighter over the years. I've experienced a lot of things, and I think Hannah believes I'm very quiet and timid and shy, but I'm here to show everyone that I have got my own voice, and it's not Steffi and it's not Andrew on my Twitter and stuff. I can stand up for myself, and I guess I've just got the fire burning.
Hannah, welcome. Seen so many times you on the other side of the poster, obviously, when we did the fight with you and Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. Gone away, done brilliantly well, captured those 2 world championships as well, and a really intriguing fight. You know, people talking about, is this going to work out for Terri Harper? Can she hang at 154 pounds? But what she is facing is a very strong world champion and someone that's full of confidence as well.
Absolutely. Firstly, I want to thank yourself and Matchroom for allowing me to defend my world titles on this card. I'm really excited about fighting in Nottingham. I hear people here love to watch a good fight, so I'm really looking forward to it. I don't believe Terri is big enough to be at this weight division, and you know, she's going to find that out on Saturday night. I'm a true 154er, I'm a WBA IBO world champion, and I'm just building in my strength and my development as a fighter. So yeah, I'm looking forward to putting a show on Saturday.
What do you think? I know you've done a lot of punditry work as well, you've got a great boxing brain. Moving up to that weight division for Terri, some may feel that it's not a natural division for her to fight in as well. Do you expect her to be the same fighter that she would be at 135 pound, the same speed, more power, more punch resistance perhaps as well, or how do you analyse the fight?
So, obviously moving up those weight classes, that there's a big step up there. I don't think she will be the same fighter because, things change when you add weight to the frame. That's just how it is. I'm expecting the best version of Terri Harper, though, on the night. She's a former world champion for a reason. I've got a lot of respect for her and her team. But, like I said, I don't think she'll be the same fighter up at 154.
And finally, as well, I know you've been through a lot to get to this stage. I know you're very tough, not prepared to let those go as well, but the divisions become very exciting now. You talk about the super fights, you talk about obviously Baumgardner against Mayer, Taylor Serrano, Shields against Marshall as well, but there's another one brewing, obviously with Tasha Jonas doing well and unifying the division. Could end up, obviously Dekary as well, but could end up with a huge undisputed fight. No room for error for you at the weekend. You know how hard you've worked and you can't afford to let these go now.
Absolutely. There's some very exciting fights out there, and like you said, the unification with Tasha's obviously on the cards. It's one of those things where it just fuels my fire for the fight night on Saturday, and it just shows myself how much I really want to do well on Saturday. I only see my arm being raised, So, but those big fights will have to wait until Saturday's done. That's my main focus right now.
Well, big fight first. Hannah Rankin against Terri Harper, IBO WBA light middleweight world title. The IBO lightweight title on the line here. The Yorkshire Derby. We're going to go to Team Galahad firstly. Remember back, Dom, to the Kiko Martinez fight. We always knew that it was a struggle for Kid Galahad. People talked about, the weight, whether that played a part in the Kiko Martinez fight. He completely dominated that fight until he got hit with that first right hand. It was a devastating defeat. Obviously, the Castaneda fight fell through and he moves up to 135 pounds. You're confident that that's the right decision? He looked extremely happy in the hotel earlier. Then he might not be looking as happy if he was making 126, but a good fight, a tough fight, and one that could open a lot of doors in the lightweight division.
Yeah, it's I don't think £4 would ever have been enough of a headroom for Barry. And I think a lot of fighters who go from 9 stone, they may have one fight at super feather, but they tend to end up at lightweight, a good £9 heavier, because it was always a struggle. It was a struggle for years, but when you're in that world championship position, you're champion, you can't really turn down fights. You've got to take what comes. That's your bargaining power. And, he still had fighting in Martinez. He proved that against Warrington, broke his jaw, massive puncher. And, Barry was blinding that fight easily and then got caught. And, and you can't take you off your ball. But the resistance really to them kind of shots probably wasn't there. And I'm going to see on Saturday night, he's saying that it's a better weight class. Max is a bigger guy. Barry's never had a problem ever taking a shot. And I do believe it was totally down to the dehydration and that weight-making process, what kind of, won it for Martinez, plus the big right hand. So we'll see a different fighter on Saturday. It's going to be a more hydrated, powerful Kid Galahad and back to his usual ways. So it's going to be an exciting fight. Max is a good fighter. He's come good over the last couple of years, and it's his title to defend, but we're here to take it, and hopefully we do.
How do you see the fight playing out, without giving a game plan away? Two guys that, have over the years liked to counterpunch a little bit and box technically as well, but I've got the feeling it might not play out like this. Obviously for Barry.